When it comes to Shaquille O'Neal, there's no holding back on his thoughts. Recently, in a podcast, Shaq was comfortable enough to throw some opinions about his former teammate LeBron James. In today's video, we'll be discussing just that, since Shaquille O'Neal has admitted to being jealous of LeBron James for surpassing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time scoring record. Not just that, but he also thinks that James would not be the GOAT.
But first, a reminder about our brand new giveaway. We're giving away a PS5 with a copy of NBA 2022 and Madden 22. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.
To start, what did Shaq mean when he said he was jealous? LeBron James and Shaquille O'Neal are the two dog members of the NBA's group of legends. Their unmatched performances have only helped them become even bigger stars. The pair have developed a strong friendship both on and off the court. Shaq, however, recently admitted to Logan Paul that James makes him jealous, and it appears that James' most recent accomplishment has significantly contributed to the development of this resentment. Shaq was a guest on Logan Paul's Impaulsive podcast. Moreover, present with Paul was his buddies Mike Majlak and George Janko. In a rather casual conversation, Mike asked O'Neal about his views regarding the top players of the NBA. Oh, and by the way, before we continue, Logan needs to up that interior game for the podcast. Man, what is that? But anyway, back to the subject. Without hesitating, Shaq threw a counter question to not just the people on stage, but the audience panel as well. He asked whether they thought LeBron would become the GOAT once he passes Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Before the focus could go on to the audience, Shaq himself answered the question, saying that, to him, the real GOAT would always be Michael Jordan, but emphasizing the fact that everyone is entitled to their own opinion. As much as you find this claim arguable, wait till you hear what Shaq has said about LeBron never being able to become the GOAT. But we'll talk about that later once you're done cooling off. Following up, what does he have to back his claim? Let's give him credit where it's due. Even though Shaq made it very clear who he thinks is the GOAT, he validated everyone else's opinion as well. But if we want to head them against each other to try to settle the debate, we'll start with the Jordan fans' favorite argument. Michael Jordan has 6 NBA championships, while LeBron only has 4. The thing is, 4 is not an only number, yet it still materializes in front of Jordan's feet. He also has more season and final MVPs than LeBron James, to name a few. But to put things into perspective, most of the other notable records are in LeBron's bag. But again, James has played more NBA seasons and matches than Michael Jordan, so you be the judge of it. We think it may be better if we walk back on our claim of settling this debate, because that's not happening. Now, there's Kobe Bryant in the mix as well. Kobe shared an extremely competitively styled pair-up with Shaquille O'Neal. Both of them were looking to snatch the ball from each other, yet it still worked for their chemistry. One could say there was a rivalry among friends. Crazy how the universe works, and no wonder both of these are considered the faces of the NBA by their respective fans. But that's not it. One could argue that Shaq's opinions are a compromise. Next up, LeBron and his effort to prove himself. Win 2 or 3 more championships, which is really the only thing James can do at this time to persuade people who still believe he is not the GOAT. But we're not sure even if that would convince the most hardcore of Jordan supporters, like Shaq himself. In the end, the GOAT list is purely subjective. On the basketball floor, Jordan, James, Irving, Abdul-Jabbar, and O'Neal himself have all accomplished remarkable feats that have cemented them in basketball history. James would accomplish something for the league as a whole, as well as himself, if he finally breaks the previous points mark. History books and records are both meant to be broken, and that's something that every NBA player and fan should take pride in, because these records are not just internal league records, but world records that come in comparison with the top leagues of different sports of the world. He's also been on the record saying that his last year in the league would be spent playing with the same team that would draft his son. He said that he didn't care which team that was, as long as it drafted him. He would love to play in it just because he wants to play in the same team as his son, side by side. Can you look at that? How often does that happen in sports? We can't remember a single instance where a father-son duo has played in the same team at the same time, so even the slightest chance of this happening gets us excited. Finally, do fans agree with this sentiment of Shaq? Some would argue that stats are all that matter. The others would say that it's the feel of the game and the presence of the players that matter most. But one thing that matters more than anything is that they're all here to play the game. Shaq himself said on the podcast that never plays the game under pressure. He believes not even the children of b-ball stars should be put under the pressure of getting into the game. This reiterates the idea that the game should be played and watched for what it is, a game. Some of the diehard fans may ignore that, but we're sure a lot of them would also agree with us. Now, moving on to the other part. First up, one thing about jealousy, another about saying LeBron would never be a GOAT. Shaq believes both. While talking to the hosts, Shaq belittled the record that that LeBron will probably break in this season. He believes that taking over Kareem Abdul-Jabbar won't be much of a deal. We should also bring into the spotlight the fact that LeBron feels the same way as well about it. Well, something that they can both agree on. Jabbar won't be happy about it though. Anyway, as we move on, the record that we're talking about is this. LeBron James of the Los Angeles Lakers is expected to surpass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the NBA's all-time scoring list in the 2022-23 regular season. If James accomplishes that, he will hold the record for the most points ever scored by a player in league history. James seems to be quite clear earlier this week about how little he values the record and Abdul-Jabbar personally. James seems to be not alone in that. Shaquille O'Neal, a former player for the Lakers, recently spoke on the Impaulsive podcast on a variety of topics, including his opinion that LeBron James eventually passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the list won't affect his ranking among the all-time greats. Moreover, if according to Shaq, MJ is better than LeBron, let's compare both of them. Karl Malone overtook MJ on the list of all-time scorers, but does that make him greater than MJ? No. Is Kobe superior to MJ because he amassed more career points? No. Because he has the scoring record, is Kareem the undisputed and inevitable GOAT? No. A player's greatness is not determined by the number of points they accumulate over their career. Although Bill Russell didn't rank among the all-time leading scorers, he had a significant impact on the game and helped his team win numerous titles, earning him the title of logical GOAT in certain circles. Even though Magic Johnson is better known for his passing and leadership rather than his scoring, he is still regarded as one of the all-time great players. Although MJ was a prolific scorer, one cannot claim it as a fact that he is the greatest of all time. Yes, in your worldview, he may be the best player that has ever set foot on the court, but so is LeBron for someone else, so is Magic Johnson for another person, and many other such cases. Lastly, what does the future hold for LeBron, and is his mission to be the best or just enjoy the game? At the age of 37 years young, LeBron James looks as fresh as he first landed his foot on the court, if not better. With his stats improving each season, there's no way that he can be written off anytime soon. LeBron James has won 4 championship rings, but Shaq believes that he needs to win one more to be called among the greats. But why is that? Shaq himself has 4 rings too. That's where we think Shaq plays the role of the guy who critiques his former colleague, but in a constructive manner because he wants him to succeed. When James first started playing, he did not win a championship for 8 years, before going on to win 2 from Cleveland. What O'Neal believes is that those 8 years were wasted and that he should have won a championship in those years. But since he didn't, and then went on to win 4, he should aim to score one more ring on his hand to compensate for that lost time. But does LeBron himself want that? Sure, he is looking to break all records, but we think it's more to do with him enjoying the game than anything else. That's a wrap for this video. Do you agree with Shaquille's comments? Who in your opinion is the greatest of all time in the NBA? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.